That's official. Okay, that's interesting. Both meetings are okay. So yeah, a hook. A hook can be a melody. A hook can be a riff. A riff is like a pattern, right? So let's say, well, you know what song that is, right? So like the moment I played like literally 2 seconds of this thing, everyone knows this one. So this is a hook, a very strong representative kind of a song, a part that everyone recognizes. So for me, if you ask me what was the verse of this French song, I don't really remember. But however, what I did remember was the chorus. I mean, I only heard it like once or twice, but the chorus was very clear, right? So it's like very, yeah, exactly. Oh, that thing. So whatever makes you cry is a hook. No, that's not right. It can be also happy. Hooks can be happy. But anyway, just a very signature line. No, I don't have a beautiful voice. Thank you. I'm really touched by this comment, but I don't have a beautiful voice. That's why I end up playing the ukulele and doing all these things all on the instrument. I wish to play less and sing more, but yeah, my voice. Yeah, what can I do? One day I'll learn how to sing properly. One day there's gonna be a reveal when I'll have the guts to sing and sing into the camera. You know, I'm a bit shy with that part. So one day I'll get better. Anyway, guys, it's our last lesson, right? Here, Michelle is joining us. Time is flying, especially during this period of time. I don't know. It's flying really, really fast. Like I don't know what year this is anymore. Like, anyway, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned some new things. I would like to, of course, to teach you a few more things today and also talk about a few things. So to give you the maximum I can give. Um, but I think we did a great job, if you ask me. But I cannot speak for everyone. It's just the general feeling I've got after having 4 lessons. Well, so far 4 lessons, right? So what we're going to do, just as usual, you know how it works. We're going to release some videos together this time as kind of wrapping up the first workshop of improvisation. So what I would like to do, everyone received my email with the instructions and all that. So this one is going to be a little bit different than the previous workshops. It's going to be a bit more like me posting individual videos of each one of you and releasing it to my story. Hello, Michelle. How are you doing? So yeah, it's pretty much it's very simple. So the things we've been learning so far, I'll just quickly like run through it, and if you guys have questions, we can like talk about that. So we learn how to build phrases, 1 bar phrases, 2 bars phrases. I taught you how to work with hammer-ons, pull-offs, right? All these things that probably some of you are still learning that. And I don't expect you within 1 week to be brilliant. That's totally normal. Take your time. Sometimes it takes a few months until you kind of master this thing, or right. So just it depends on how much time you invest in this thing. Um, so what I want you to do is like the this backing tracks that you've got from me, and there are already like over 10 of them. I don't know, 12, 10 backing tracks in various keys. Um, by the way, you're welcome to find your own backing tracks, or you're welcome to record your own chords if you kind of got the idea what chords work. And a little, you know, we didn't go in depth about this thing, but I gave you some chord progressions, and if you know what to do with that, you can also simply record all the parts yourself. So that's one option, and play some lines on top of it. Or you can use the backing tracks to record your lines on top of the backing tracks. So actually, it's a bit up to you. Um, so yeah, I just want to hear some nice ideas from you guys. based on what we discussed during the lessons. Pretty much that. So just you grabbing your instrument and improvising, writing a melody, improvising. As you can see, I link those two in my lesson. So improvisation and writing a melody is very close to each other. Um, so yeah, the instructions are there. It's all in the description. So what I would suggest you to do, just record a bit, like don't record just 2 seconds, right? So take your time, just play around for 1 minute or so. Then just send me the file and I'll cut it, like I'll make a nice little editing there and it will be released on my profile with your permission, of course. How does that sound? Yeah? Is is everything clear about your assignment?
I
Okay,
don't
it's
really
just
understand how you'll mix it though. Because I mean, we might use different tracks.
uh,
So, are you gonna post it on your story or your feed?
I'm gonna be posting it on my feed because I'm expecting to release like a lot of. I mean, I'll be getting quite a lot of videos. So for now, my plan is to release it on my story, like and preferably in 1 day kind of thing. So not like spread out, but like 1 day dedicated to wrapping up this workshop, right? That will also there will be also a post released to my feed related to the workshop as well, and but most of it will go to the stories. I still don't know. There is a chance I will release something to my feed, but I still have to wrap my mind about it. How I kind of connect all your improvisation parts together and make something nice out of it. So that's pretty much it. How do we send the videos? I would prefer you sending it via email, so it can be just whether through Gmail, depending on the how large your file is. You can do it with WeTransfer through Gmail, or any way possible. I mean, I think if you send it through Instagram itself, I'm not sure. I don't think I can copy it. I don't think I can download it if you send it to me through the chat. I think that won't be possible. Yeah, Google Share, I think Google Drive or what is it? Google Share. That's like it's pretty convenient. Um, yeah, so I think I did I specify the date? I think I did in my email. So it's pretty much a month from now. So that's the time frame I'm giving you. So I think I mentioned the 22nd, if I'm not mistaken. Again, it's a date that I've chosen. We can change the date if you all say like, wait, it's too early or something like that. Completely fine. However, it's nice to have some kind of an end date because if everyone takes their own time and we end up like, and I end up really receiving all the videos a year from now, and plus I still have to release the video from the previous workshop, which is actually I'm working on it right now. Anyway, 22nd of June. That's everyone agrees with this date. All good. Perfect. So yeah, there you have a lot of freedom of what to do there. Like it's not a strict assignment. It's pretty much put the camera on, put the backing track on, grab your ukulele and start playing based on the things we discussed and the exercise we've done and like that kind of stuff. All right. And of course, like I told you, if you want to make a nice melody, there are some rules to follow. We discussed them. Repetition, remember that word. Repetition and music is like it's hand in hand. Hook, what I mean by a hook, a good hook. What is a good hook? Why this song? Why is this so good? Because there is a rhythmical repetition, just the same repetition that I've been explaining about constructing phrases. One and two and so one and three and da 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 one and two and da da. It's the same rhythm. It's kind of repeating all the time for the whole melody with some minor variation. But this is like what makes it so memorable, and that's why I ended up playing it pretty much straight after listening to it. You know. So keep it simple. You don't have to stuff it with many notes. That's not uh, that doesn't guarantee your phrase being beautiful. What guarantees your phrase being beautiful is repetition, rhythmical variations, So meaning play around with the location of your notes. That can be more meaningful than the notes themselves. You know what I mean? That's a very um, kind of, I see it very often that people think the other way around. They think like, oh, what notes should I play? The amount of notes we can play is very actually limited, just in general in music. Think about it. We have maximum of 12 notes in music. Like everything we do is maximum 12. However, we never even end up playing 12. We always end up playing just a few of them. So what gives the variety is not the notes, is the rhythms. So if you want to get some nice ideas, play with the rhythms, not with stuffing it with hundreds of notes in one bar, right? Anyway, so everything is clear, right? Let's thumbs up, so I know that everyone got what I'm talking about. Okay, cool. All right. How? Let's begin with this. Any questions? Few moments of questions. This time I won't keep it for 1 hour. So 1 hour of question. I'll try to be a bit compact. Any questions about the assignment? Maybe the hammer-ons pull-offs that we've been talking about, slides and all that kind of stuff from the previous lesson. Things you want to share with me, show me, get some feedback. No, all good. Josie, you didn't have your hand up like a few moments ago? You did? You still have the question?
The only question I had was if you would record it, but you recorded already, so that was, and I raised my hand.
Good, 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 good. Um, all right. So, if everything is clear, by the way, guys, did you enjoy playing with those backing tracks? I'm just curious to know your like, is it fun? The whole process? It's kind of cool, right? You feel like you're playing with the band, and especially in these lonely times of Corona, where you don't meet so many people to play with. Anyway, cool. In that case, let's move on to our next topic. It's all connected. 12 bar blues. Everyone got the spreadsheet? All right. Let me open it with you. Dum dee dum dee dum dee da 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 dum dee dum dee dum dee da da da. All right, here we go. All right, why do I want to teach you the blues? Uh, Garden Jam. Well, 12 bar blues garden jam. What is the garden jam? Is it like a specific in your garden? I thought it's like a title of a song. The garden jam blues. Yay! Perfect. Well, so here you go. 12 bar blues. Well, let me tell you this. Blues is where everything begins. Actually, pentatonic is also kind of called the blues scale. It's very related to the blues scale, which is again like pentatonic, the blues scale. We're not going to talk about the blues scale, but what I want to already tell you that both scales are very related. They're coming from the same source. Um, the blues, back in the days in the United States, where in the people were working in the fields, well, the black community of the United States, not the best years of history, where slavery was still involved. So they were working the fields and they were singing and playing, right? People were singing and playing, and they were playing the blues. And the blues was actually brought up originally from Africa. So if you ever visited countries like Mali or Senegal or any countries in West Africa, you'll hear a very, very like strong connection between the American blues and the West African music. So when the African Americans were singing the blues, they had a lot of those like the feeling towards the music from their ancestors, because it's a tradition that came from grandfather to son. So this kind of thing, right? So people were working the fields, very hard work, not having much freedom, and singing the blues. Well, the blues stands for also sadness, right? So I guess that's where the words comes from, the blues. But later on, the style evolved into rock and roll. So rock and roll is based on the blues. So Beatles, which is kind of a pop version of rock and roll, is actually based on the blues. Now Beyonce, what we call rhythm and blues or R&B. Do you know the style R&B? So that stands for rhythm and blues. So the origin is also in blues. So actually, like every link of many music styles, especially coming from the United States, right? So like country music, pop music, R&B, rap, whatever you call it, rock, like all of it is kind of it comes or it's originated in the blues. So that's why it's good to talk about what a blues is. As I said, we're going to be still using the same scale. So the scale is just a pentatonic because it's also the blues scale. So that's cool. But we have a structure that represents the blues, which is 12 bar blues. 12 bar blues means 12 bars of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and multiply 12. So we have in total of 12 bars. And the chord progressions, we can also all start checking the spreadsheet. As you can see, for the first bar is A7, the second bar is D7, then A7 2 bars, then D7 2 bars, then A7 2 bars, then E7 1 bar, D7 1 bar, A7 1 bar, E7, well, half a bar kind of thing. We can also keep it as a full bar, the last one. There are plenty of variations for the blues. 12 bar blues is the most common one, but even within the 12 bar blues, you can sometimes change things. So don't look at this example as like the only chord progressions or the only like constellation of chords that is ever available. There are some variations on it. Anyway, without further talking, let's dive into this thing. Everyone knows the chords: A7, D7, E7. Yeah, cool. So, what I would like to do first, let's play the chords of this song together. And what I want you to do with the right hand is simply strum it downwards 4 times, 4 times per bar. All right, so we get A7, 1, 2, 3, 4, D7, 2, 3, 4, A7, 3. One more time, A7. Second line, D7, D7, A7. To the third line, E7, to the D7, A7, and now E7. Here we go, E7. So the E7, you can keep it as a full bar, so don't get confused by the placement of the chord. Is just simply a full bar of 1, 2, 3, 4 of E7. Okay, so this is the form of the chords. There are plenty of backing tracks with 12 bar blues. So what I want us to do is I want us to play a bunch of lines. So I gave some examples of, again, some patterns that I've created. You can create your own. So here is the first question: what key are we in? What do you guys think? So this is a little bit thinking outside the box, but look at the phrases. Look at what I wrote, like in terms of the tabs. What's going on there? What is the key? What is the pentatonic scale we're using there? Can anyone tell me? Any idea?
A minor.
Yeah, very good. A minor pentatonic. So here's a little exception, and that's something for you to remember. Blues is a very, when we say blues, it's a bit specific. in terms of the connection between the chords and the scale. So when we're talking about the chords of the original blues, original 12 bar blues, not, I'm not talking Beyonce R&B. Like this is like years later on that got modified into something very different. I'm talking about the original blues, which is a 12 bar blues. The first chord is A7. It's not A minor 7. It's not AM. You don't see an M there, right? So it's actually, it's a major chord and it has a 7 in it. So that's the exception. When we're talking about the blues, 12 bar blues, you can use the pentatonic scale regardless the fact that the chord is still major. Because it's A7, you don't need to make the conversion and start counting to what is the minor related scale. Don't do that. A7 means A minor pentatonic. Okay? So let's say here is another example. We're playing a 12 bar blues and the first chord is C7. What is the scale we're going to be using? C minor pentatonic. All right? Another example. We are in a different key and we have other chords, but we're still in a 12 bar blues. The first chord is D7. That's the first chord, right? What is the scale? D minor pentatonic. Yeah, you got it? Just remember it. Because again, I wouldn't like going too much into theory. All right, so what I want to do is let's have some fun and start playing a bunch of patterns, at least those three, the ones I wrote, and then maybe we can do some patterns that you guys have. Like, let's just see where it takes us. So let's play the first one. First, let's just do it together. So I'll play it with you. Here we go. So it's a 2 bars pattern. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3, 2 and 3. Here's another thing. Do you notice that the rhythm, there's something in the rhythm right now? Yeah? So do you guys know what just happened? Because there's kind of a bump, it's a bumpy ride, right? It's like, it's not really smooth this time. So this is what we call shuffle. Did you guys hear the term shuffle before? So shuffle is a particular groove. It's a feeling. We have a straight feeling and we have a shuffle feeling. These are the two ways of playing rhythm. So straight goes like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. This is straight. That's what we were doing till now. Shuffle means a little bit bumpy. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and so you see the difference. So pretty much what happens is that the ends, so one end, the end is not right in the middle, but it's a little bit towards the 2, and the end of the 2 is a little bit towards the 3, right? So again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, this is straight. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You see the difference? It's a little bit like broken. It's a feel. And a lot of blues songs, not only blues actually, a lot of other styles have that feeling, which is called the shuffle feeling. So now what I was counting for you guys wasn't straight, it was in shuffle. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Okay? So let's try to do it one more time. A bit slower. Was it a bit too fast? Yeah, for some yes, for some not. Okay, let's take it a bit slower. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1. Beginning. How did it sound? Sound good? All right, let's do another little experiment. So this time I'm going to open the link. So I will be playing the melody together with you with the backing track. So let me see. Okay, and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And you see that's the shuffle feel, a bit bumpy. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Wow, here we go. Where are we? Hold on, I need to check the paper. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3, 2 and 3, 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3, 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3, 2 and 3 and 2 and 3, 2 and 3, 2 and 3, 2 and 3, and 2 and 3, 2 and 3, 2 and 3, 2 and 3, 2 and 3. All right. Did you succeed? Yeah, sounds good, right? Good. All right, let's check the next phrase. Are you getting the shuffle feel? Do you feel free to show it to me? By the way, guys, if you are a bit insecure about something, like the best way is for me to hear it and then I can immediately tell you what to do. So please share it with me if you have even a little question or if you're a little bit hesitant about it. All right, let's look at number 2. So before we get into the recording, by the way, guys, here is another thing. Look at how I'm working on this thing. So I'm guiding you from the very beginning. I'm not immediately putting the recording and starting to play on top of it, right? I'm breaking it down, making sure that I know the rhythm, that my thumb knows what to do, that my fingers know what to do. I don't think immediately about the result. I first want to get it right. Then I start putting it under above the backing track and all that kind of stuff. All right. So this is also the way to practice it. All right, here we go. Number 2. Still shuffle. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 bit slower. Would that help? All right. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 do dee dee da and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 do do dee dee 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. This one is a bit more difficult, right? Just by looking at your faces, I can see that you're a little bit still searching. Give me a bit of more indication. Like, should we do it a little bit slower? Yeah, one more time, a bit slower. All right.
Sorry, sorry,
Yes.
sorry.
Tell me.
I've just I thought they were all zeros because mine was sounding really off, and I thought, oh no.
Right.
But it's realised I haven't got my glasses with me and I can't see. So could you
Yes.
just read it out and I can write it on?
Definitely. Yeah, I'm sorry. Maybe this one came a little bit. I see that the 3 is a little bit camouflaged or
Yeah.
hiding behind the lines. Okay, let me just tell it like one time so everyone knows how to look at it. So 0, the first note is a 0 on the second string, right? After that, we have a 3 on the second string, right? Then again, a 3 on the second string, then a 0 on the second string, then a 3 on the second string, then a 0 on the third string, 2 on the third string, 3 on the second string. That's the entire line. Yeah? Cool. Let's do it one more time. A little bit slower. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 3 do 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 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 3 do do dee dum do do 3 do 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. All right? Better? So. Shall we try it with a backing track? Let's do that. And 2 and 3. Yeah, it's a bit faster. Let me see what we can do about it. 1 second. A bit slower. see? 1 and 2 and 3. Not yet, not yet. Let's wait a little bit. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1. Here we go. 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2, 2 and 3, 4 and 2. One and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4. And it's all right. So. Okay, needs a bit of practice, but as long as you understand what we are doing, the rhythm is clear, right? I mean, the most important thing, I want you guys to get also the shuffle, because if you're a bit confused with the shuffle, that means your notes are a little bit, that they're moving constantly. So that can be confusing. So what I can recommend you to do if you're still not feeling the shuffle groove, so to say, just try to listen to the track before we start playing, because we're kind of immediately playing on top of this thing. Just put it on and try to tap your foot. Actually, with every backing track you're doing, first things first, you need to be in line with what you're hearing. You cannot play anything on top if you don't know what you're playing, what the backing track is, you know? So you need to start feeling where the beat is. So let's say what I do, this is my foot, 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 foot. Try to tap your foot with a backing track. This is the groove. You can, let's say, do the same thing faster. Now I feel the groove. And 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and... All right, guys? All right, let's look at the last one. I think the last one is nice. So the last one goes like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 3 and 4 and 4 and... Alrighty, let's slow it down a little bit and let's do it together. As you can see, what I did here, it should be familiar to you. I took the pentatonic scale of AM, just threw some notes on the lines, followed the connecting part, so the things I was explaining about, right, which notes connects to which and this and that, and that's it. And it sounds pretty good. It sounds good with the blues. It sounds good with other chords. I mean, there's nothing new in terms of the notes. Okay, here we go. Slowly, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And 4 and then from the beginning. It's good? All right, good. Let's put the playback. Second bar to the first bar, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and to the first bar. Second bar and 4 and 4. Second bar, 2 and 3 and 4 and first bar, 2 and 3 and 4 and second and 2 and 3 and 4 and first and 2 and 3, second, 2 and 3 and 4 and first. To the first. And is it too fast for some of you? All right, cool, cool. Very good, guys. Well, however, we played those 3 examples, and we didn't really use any of the tricks that I was talking about, like the slides, hammer-ons, pull-offs. So we can definitely include that. So let's say what I would do if we take let's say the third line, right? So the one that we played right now. What can we do there? Maybe so a hammer-on the 2. Why not? Right? So some nice hammer-ons to add to the package, right? Can we do a pull-off? Not quite, right? Can we? No, because we're only kind of going up, so we cannot do any pull-offs here, not in this phrase. But we can do a pull-off in a different phrase. Let's say we can do a pull-off in phrase 2 perhaps, or 1. There's enough room for that, right? So a pull-off is when we move from a higher number to a lower number, right? So let's say 3 to the 0, that can be a pull-off. 5 to the 0, that's a pull-off. All right, so you can experiment with these things. And 2 and let's say if we look at phrase 1, we can do a slide between 3 and 5, right? Everyone agrees? Another variation. We can also play the 3 to the 5 as a hammer-on. Also possible. Let's try this example. So let's take phrase number 1. Let's try to modify it together a little bit. So what I would like to have is 3 to the 5 is going to be a slide, and 5 to the 0 is a pull off. Okay, is that clear? So a little something extra. So it's gonna sound like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. Slide, pull off. You see? So that's like the slow motion. From the 3 I pluck, I slide it to the 5. So you get the sound of the 5 by just making the slide, right? And then straight away you do the pull off. So 2 notes, the 5 and the 0 after that will be played with the left hand, not the right hand. That's how the slides and the pull offs work. Is that clear? All right, let's do it together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3. Slide, pull off, and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3. Slide, pull off. All right? You succeeded? Okay, cool. Any questions so far? Okay, all clear. Very good. Okay, what I would like to do next to it, so this is about the blues. What you can do is search for backing tracks. So you can write down pretty much like on YouTube 12 bar blues in C, 12 bar blues in D, 12 bar blues in E. So when you're doing that, you're pretty much getting 12 bar blues with the first chord that dictates the what we call the key of the song, and also your scale. So if you want to play in a different key and not in A minor pentatonic, but let's say in C minor pentatonic, but with a 12 bar blues, then you should Google or well YouTube 12 bar blues in C. Then you get the first chord C7. All right. If you want to play the 12 bar blues in G, then you write down 12 bar blues in G. And the first chord, the first bar will be G7. All right, guys? Is that clear? All right, cool. I want to give one more example just for the fun of it. Um, let's take the same patterns. So these 3 patterns that I came up with, and let's try to play it on a different backing track. So a backing track from the previous lessons that we had, right? And let's see how that sounds. So we go away from the blues and we go back to the straight feeling, not the shuffle. So no more 1 and 2, no more bumpy road, but straight road, highway. All right, here we go. Let me find a nice link for us. So what I'm doing right now is backing track in A minor. Why in A minor? Because we're already in A minor, right? So all these phrases are in A minor. So that's what I'm writing on YouTube, backing track in A minor. Let's see what I can find over here. Spunky Funk, backing track in A minor. Let's see how that sounds. Sounds like a commercial. All right, let's see. a cool one. Funky. It's groovy. I like it. So first things first. 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and foot, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and being in line with the groove. 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. All right, cool. So let's take example number 3, whatever. Let's see how that sounds. And let's play it on that groove. Here we go. And 2, and 3, and 4, and second bar. First bar. Second bar, here we go.